So I wanted to move away from the whole Rock Cody thing. We'll get back to it. Um, I wanted to talk about a few other things from SmackDown. One of which was the whole Bailey Io Sky confrontation. I thought it was brilliantly done. The way they had Bailey speak Japanese and how they reacted to it and how the general managers in the ring reacted to it. I thought the segment was absolutely beautifully written, beautifully well done. I'm looking forward to seeing those guys. Um, I'm looking forward to seeing that more than I am Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley because we know that's where they're going. If they don't go there, it'll shock me. But I'm just, oh man. Becky is another one that's kind of soured, that I've kind of soured on because it's the same stuff over and over and over. It's time for a reinvention. Now, just like Bailey's going to have to reinvent herself as a babyface. Do I think that we're going to go back to seeing Hugger Bailey with the ponytail and the brightly colored things and the inflatable tube men, the Bailey buddies? No. But maybe one night only we'll get to something like that at Mania. Maybe get the return of the Bailey buddies at WrestleMania because of the spectacle and the entrance and everything. Um, there was no Dakota Kai there. And some people are speculating that maybe Dakota Kai is going to side with Bailey in all of this. I don't think so. Because Dakota Kai has been laughing behind Bailey's back too. Dakota Kai's been chumming it up right there with the Kabuki Warriors in Io Sky. So it really makes no sense for Dakota Kai. You know, the whole thing is the whole group turns on Bailey. Bailey's on an island under herself, and she comes back and gets the win at Mania, wins the title, finishes her story. Anyway, another thing is the debut of Tiffany Stratton versus Mi Chin, and this poked a lot of holes in the way that they run NXT, which is going to transfer me into, or transition me into the main topic of this video, which is NXT definitely needs to change the way they ran. And here's what I mean by that. Um, when you're on the NXT roster, yes, you may get called up to do a dark match or two on the Raw taping or on the SmackDown taping. In fact, I'm curious to see who they're going to have doing the SmackDown tapings because I'll be going to the SmackDown tapings. That's right. Stupid Mark Joe White bought tickets. Yeah, I did. Bought them back in November for Christmas. The whole family's going. It's going to be great. But I'm curious to see who they send up. But anyway, getting back on topic. Um, they need to change the way they do things down there because when you're on the NXT brand, if you don't get called up to the main roster to do dark matches or main event matches, you're pretty much in Florida all week long. And yes, they do the coconut loop, going to Fort Myers and St. Petersburg, and then they'll go to cut over to Miami and then go up to Tampa and or then go over to, little high school gyms here and there. But that only gets you so far. It's not like being on the road with WWE. It's a quick little loop that you do in a matter of 2 or 3 days, and then you're right back at the performance center where you have your crash pad rings and your full on gym and your protein shakes that you can work out on, and you have availability for food. And it's not like being on the road. Um, Many times wrestlers go, when I'm on the road and the show's done and I need to eat, I got to go eat at Wendy's because it's the only thing open. Or I got to go eat at the Waffle House because it's the only thing open. Um, Also, when you're in NXT, you have a chance to practice these matches over and over and over. I guarantee you that the matches we saw at NXT Stand and Deliver, which was a good show, those matches were rehearsed over and over and over throughout the week. So when you take a girl like Tiffany Stratton and you move them up to the main roster, or even like a Braun Breaker, and you move them up in the main roster. Now your ability to practice every week goes away. Your ability to practice all week goes away because you don't know what the creative is going to be from one week to the next. You don't know who you're facing from one day to the next. You may know on house shows, and you could do the same matches there, and you know, it used to be that the TV shows were there to promote the house shows. Now the house shows are there to get these guys ready and to practice their matches for TV and PLEs. But it's still not as much time as you get in NXT. You got to think they get a lot of advance warning from Shawn Michaels and the rest of the crew down there as to what's going on. So and it showed, the cracks in the system showed when Tiffany Stratton shows up at the building and goes, "Hey, you're working me, Chin, tonight. Good luck. You got 5 minutes. Go out there and do it." Uh, we got to come up with a match in a matter of a couple hours as opposed to a few days. So I think that maybe with NXT, stop letting them practice their matches 3-4 days in advance. Show up at the Performance Center on a Tuesday night and go, "Here's your booking." Because that's the way it's going to be on the main roster. Here's your booking for this evening. Call time for the show. You have to be over here at the building, at the Performance Center by 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Tuesdays. Here's your creative for the day. Go practice your promos. Go practice your matches. The ring's there. You have a few days. If you have a few hours, go do it. So I think now that the cracks in the NXT system are really starting to show once they go up to the main roster. Now, it used to be a lot worse because it used to be that they would get these guys up to the main roster and all of a sudden they would give them an entirely new gimmick and they would give them an entirely new name. And oh, guess what? Now you got a few hours to start all over from scratch. Now they're not doing that as much, but the in-ring work shows. The cracks in the in-ring work show when these guys don't know how to really call matches on the fly or come up with matches on the fly. They don't have weeks and weeks to prepare. The Trick Williams turn. Let's talk about the Trick Williams turn here as I'm rolling down the road, getting ready to go through Peoria, Illinois. I like the Trick Williams turn. I like the way they did it. As soon as he said, "You're my boy," and he started stepping behind Trick, the fans knew it was coming. It's very hard to do a real big surprise turn nowadays. Are we going to get the, yes, it was Trick that attacked, or, yes, it was Carmelo that attacked Trick in the parking lot all those months ago? What's next for Ilya Dragunov? A lot of people were going, well, they could have moved Carmelo and Trick to the main roster and done the whole turn there and given fans a little bit of background as to, hey, this is what's been going on in NXT between these two. What's going to happen now that they're the, small fish in the big pond, so to speak. I'm kind of glad they didn't do it that way. You need to kind of have your NXT storyline sealed up and done. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with Braun Breaker now that him and Baron Corbin, which is a team that I never thought I would like, but I'm loving me some Wolf Dogs at the moment. I'm loving that team. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with Braun. He's going to be on Raw tonight, trying to decide what brand he's going to. I think they should go ahead and put him on Raw. And there's Cody's next challenger right there. Bam, you built it up. After Mania, the Raw after WrestleMania. That's what they should do. I haven't made my decision yet. And just keep pushing off the decision thing. Keep having Baron and him win tag matches or whatever. Have them maybe win the tag titles at Vengeance Day and lose them to somebody else at Stand to Deliver. Don't have Baron turn on him, or don't have him Braun turn on Baron. Just do an amicable split because Baron Corbin needs to stay in NXT. And then the Raw after Mania, finally we get our decision with Braun Breaker Cody's in the ring doing the world title deal. You deserve it, Chance, even though he deserves better. He deserves more. And all of a sudden the sirens hit. And Braun Breaker comes out, and there's your challenger for Backlash in Paris. Yes, GPS. That's my GPS, folks, talking to me in the background again. I'm rolling down the road. Yes, I'm hands-free. Joe White's texting while driving. No, I'm hands-free. So, but yeah, that's the way I would do it. I would keep putting off the decision, and then finally we choose Raw. Raw for Braun Breaker. Cody versus Braun Breaker would be a phenomenal match. Oh my God, that would be amazing. Braun Breaker versus Cody Rhodes. Are you kidding me? And it makes an instant star out of Braun. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Are there cracks in the NXT system? Do they need to stop this deal of giving these guys weeks upon weeks upon weeks to rehearse matches? Yes, Lola. Call my GPS Lola, like Robin Williams did in RV. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. We'll see you down the road.